was at a celebration of life today for a guy named Dave McCarty, who was a professional baseball player. And I didn't know him extremely well. I had met him a few times. I had spent some time with him. He was friends with friends of mine, and he was a pretty special person. He was a very talented athlete, a very smart individual. He went to Stanford. When he was at Stanford, he was the best baseball player in college in the country. He played for at least one World Series winning team, if not more. And at the celebration, people got up to talk about him. His wife stood up. The thing about his death, he had a heart attack at the age of 54. So very unexpected and very premature. And his wife, his sister, one of his college teammates, his business partner, he was a real estate broker here in the Bay Area after his professional baseball career. So his wife, his sister, one of his college teammates, and his business partner in brokerage, and then his kids got up and talked about him for like an hour, maybe more, maybe an hour and a half. And there were some well-known people at the event, people that you would see on television in professional sports or other areas of life. So it was an interesting crowd. And one thing that became apparent from listening to the people who spoke was that Dave was really present his whole life. I'm sure he changed throughout his life, and I'm sure he learned things, but it's clear that from the time he was very small, basically born, he was a leader. He was present. He was in the moment. And I find that so impressive because I was not that way. I think that I'm that way now, but I was not that way when I was little, and I wasn't that way probably for the first 40 years of my life. But he, from a very young age, was just there. He was willing to speak his mind. He was very intelligent, so he spoke his mind well. He had a good sense of humor. People were willing to follow him. People wanted to be around him. He created community and team wherever he went. And those are very special qualities. And so there are times when people are taken prematurely, or at least it seems prematurely. They die at a younger age than we think they should die. And when that happens and the person is a special person. I just wondered to myself, like maybe they had lived everything they needed to live. This guy was 54, but from the way that he lived his life, I I only met him or was in his presence a handful of times, so I'm not speaking firsthand, but from the way that it sounds like he lived his life, he he put a full 80 years of living into that 54 years. So maybe for some people, their lifespan here is not measured chronologically, it's measured by the content and the concentration and the richness of the time they spend here. Um, so, speaking for myself personally, I know that I didn't really start living, at least in my opinion, until I was in my 40s. So, I hope that by the time I'm done, people speak about me the way that they spoke about Dave McCarty today. But it's going to take until I'm older than 54. So I hope I have that time.